Good morning, my friends. This video may be a little bit late. I had a little furry issue with my dear Kelly wanting cuddles, so delayed a bit in recording this, but it's only a quick little project, so quite a short video this morning. Just going to show how I make these little fun ruffles. Really cool, just to put on a journal card or a tag or as a tab like on the side of a page, a wee decoration. I'm not altogether prepared for this, but like so on the edge of a page, you could use it as a little page tab or on the top of a page, you know, wherever you like. Do I have a journal card handy? I don't, but I've got one of my faux playing cards here. So like you could either put it on as a decoration on something, or you can put it as like you would use any other tab, or on top of a tag. So that's what I'm going to show you. So I've got some strips of book page here. I have been making these with straight edges, and these are about 1 inch wide. It doesn't really matter, make them as wide or as narrow as you like, but these are roughly 1 inch. But I thought I'd give a go doing, this cat fur everywhere, giving a torn edge one. So I've got a strip of book page, and I'm just going to sort of smoosh it up. More cat fur, it's everywhere. She's very furry, my Kelly. And just kind of, some I bend over, some I bend top, and I just kind of scrunch it up. I'm not trying to keep it straight. In fact, I want it to be kind of a little bit up and down, if you can see. So I'm just scrunching it up like so. And then kind of, once you've got it how you want it, give it a flatten off. And there's a little bit too much white there, so I'm just going to trim a bit of that off. And maybe I'll trim this straight edge off as well. Oops. Doesn't matter. It's, you know, delightfully scrappy. I like to ink mine, so all around the edges. And I do like to do it after I've scrunched it, not before. Just my preference. You could ink the edge before you scrunch it if you find that easier. If you want to ink, you absolutely do not have to ink. And then I like to go and hit just the tops of these folds here, just to give a bit of definition. And so I figure I might as well do all the inking all at once rather than ink around the edges, then scrunch it, then come back in and do these edges. Just like to get them all at the same time, like so. So, delightfully crinkly, scrunchy, random bit of paper. Making it sit how I wanted it. And then I come in with some embroidery thread. So I've got some brown here, some light tan. And on this one, I did little crosses. So not cross stitch per se, because cross stitch they'd all be right up against each other, but just little crosses. Or you can just do a straight stitch, you can do random stitching, you could do whatever you like. You could machine stitch them if you prefer. I like the hand stitching on these. I think it's just, oops, don't need the thread around there. I think Kelly's now gone out. I was hoping she'd stick around a bit, but that's all right. She's had cuddles. She's had 2 breakfasts. That was her second breakfast. She doesn't normally get 2 breakfasts, but anyway. So here I'm just do random angles. Not straight across, just up, down, sideways. Very irregular. Just because it's fun, you know. It adds a bit of variety. Means you don't have to worry about getting anything perfectly straight or what have you. It can be long, short, messy, and it just connects all the different folds together so it stays flat. So quite a fun little activity to just do in front of TV too. It's not difficult and it doesn't take long, and you could whip up a whole bunch in very quick order, particularly if you adopted the mass make approach and cut all your strips and then folded them all, inked them all, and then stitched them all. If you don't want to do stitching, then by all means just add in a bit of glue to put everything together. Cat fur. It's now being sewn into the ruffle. So just random, can you see how random that is? Random stitches that go every which way. And then just tie it off at the back. And you're ready to glue it onto something. So make up a whole bunch and have them at hand to add to your ephemera or your journal pages or wherever you would like to add them. Just giving that a couple of knots back through one of the previous stitches. When it's glued, it will hold it all together. But just, you know, if you're making several that you're just going to have on hand, then you want to make sure they're secure, otherwise your thread might pull out. Excuse me, a bit froggy. Let me take a wee sip of my coffee. So that's a book page. And as you can see, I've got several ruffles here to make up. So this is the one I pre-made. This is the one I just made, quick as. And then I wanted to try something new. And I thought, how about momogami? So if you're not sure what momogami is, I do have a video on making this. Although I believe it's actually on Patreon. So you can only watch it if you're one of my patrons. But there are other videos out there on YouTube. If you do a search, I'm sure you'll find some. It's paper that's been treated with hand cream and scrunched and then let dry. And it's kind of turns it a bit fabricy in texture. So this is a strip here. I did find that when you cut it with a guillotine, it can tear quite easily. This one tore, I just sewed it back together. So let's make up one of these. This one I did not ink, so this one I think I will ink. So again, just scrunching. You do lose a little bit of the texture because you're flattening it out a bit, but there's still plenty of crinkle going on to enjoy. So just random folds. If you're not happy with your first fold, you can adjust it. And because this is pink, I'm going to actually just give it an edge with my pink ink. Pink ink. It's a little bit harder to do just with the ink pad on the folds, but it's all right. I did take a little video of Kelly having cuddles. So I'll see if I can add that in or do a reel of it or something. Because she's so cute and she was so cuddly. So like, no, don't stop petting me. More, more, more. It's just adorable. Very healing kitty cuddles. It's like, I love you, mummy. I love you too, Kelly. Right, I think we've got pretty good coverage there. Just adds a little bit of definition, particularly because this paper has quite a bit of white in the background. Right, so, and I've pre-knotted all my threads here. I thought just to make this process a little quicker, I'd pre-knot my threads, and I'm using embroidery floss. I like to use 3 strands to do this. So I'm going to do my crosses. So go across, spacing out however you like, doing all the same direction. So making diagonal strokes, catching the layers so it holds them together. So I'm doing all this way to start with. Hopefully this bit of thread is long enough to do this. And again, they don't need to be precise or the same size or evenly spaced. Just go for it. nice and eclectic. Up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. And then last stitch in there. And then you come back the other way and do your stitches back across the top. And the crosses are actually my preferred stitch for these, or for a lot of things actually. I just really like the look. Maybe because I was a cross stitcher. I haven't done cross stitch for yonks. I really want to do some, but I can't find my cloth, my Ada cloth. So one day I will find it. See, that's a really funky cross. Doesn't matter. Just add some visual interest. Yeah, this is just going to be long enough, this bit of thread. It's going to be a bit difficult to tie off at the end, but we'll manage. Can be a little tricky getting through several layers, but just be careful you don't stab yourself. And there we have a cool little pink ruffle with pink stitching. And I think I'm just going to go back through that knot there rather than going back to a previous stitch, because I won't have enough thread to do that. And this is a really long needle. Oh, can I get it through the knot? Yep, there we go. So that gives me even less room to tie a knot. So take it off the needle because I can't get it back through, and just tie one knot. Normally I do double knot, but that'll be fine. That will hold it sufficiently until it's glued onto something. Trim the threads, or you could leave the threads hanging if you prefer, if you want that look. And there we go. So that's how to make simple, effective little page tag, tab, journal card ruffles, decorating ruffles. I do prefer the inked over the non-inked, so I could go in and just give this a little hit around the edges with my vintage photo, just to give it a little something. So whatever paper you've got, you could use plain scrapbook paper, you could use digital papers, you could use washi, faux washi that you've made out of whatever, whether it's a printable or magazine paper or something. Not stuff that's backed with tape though. I wouldn't do it with tape because it would be too thick. But yeah, just whatever papers you like, and make yourself some cool little ruffles. Have on hand to pop on. Let's try the pink one on this. Like, how cool is that? And I like making narrower ones as well. Narrower ones on top of tags work really well. I haven't got one to show you right now though. But how cool is that? Fun. So there's a little idea for this Easter Friday. I hope you enjoy it. Give it a go. Maybe make some up over Easter while you're watching an Easter movie or whatever you're up to these holidays. Take care, my friends, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.